I know we were about four points above 10,000 for the DAX.
Yeah.
How much conviction is there, do you think?
I think there's a fair amount of decent conviction with regards to DAX pushing above this 10,000 level. Its previous levels of resistance were around about 9,800. It seemed to form a decent base there. It's moved up to 10,000. It's traded just above there, as you rightly mentioned. But what we need to see is for the DAX to close above that 10,000 level, ideally for 2 consecutive days, accompanied with decent volume. And then we start to see the emergence of a potentially new trend pushing up to maybe even 11,000 in the medium term.
And of course, this is down to QE. We'll come into the FTSE and the US markets in a minute, but it's down to QE, it's down to the ECB last week. We talk about an end to falling rates and improving economies, but it looks like it's going to be a while before rates start to rise. All that is pushing this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But with interest rates where they are at the moment, and with the ECB taking the measures that they took last week, the demand for equities continues and is relatively buoyant. But what we would like to see, ideally, is more volume coming into the market on the back of what the ECB announced last week. How
much volume are we seeing in the UK? It looks like the FTSE's struggling to get near that all-time high set at the end of 99.
Yep.
We're at 68.75 or thereabouts now. Are we going to see an assault on, what was it, 69.50?
I think we will see a move towards 69.50 and then potentially 7,000 where there would be a major level of resistance. But what we need to see is some of these major sectors, such as the mining sector, starting to move back to the upside. That's been lagging for the last quarter, certainly, and over the last couple of years or so. And until that sector and to a certain extent the banks start to move as well, then I think the FTSE will continue to struggle.
And what about volumes? When do you think they'll come back?
That's the million-dollar question, Axel. Volumes are relatively low at the moment, but what we would like to see is the retail investor coming back into the market, and they're not likely to come back into the market until they've reduced their debts. They're more comfortable with their employment situation, and they have excess cash in order to invest.